Welcome to my review of the CASIO G-Shock G-7800, a real oddity of a G-Shock. Not only is it kind of odd looking, but the way that it was released was kind of unusual as well. CASIO started out initially, they released a white version with a positive display like you see here, except everything that you see on this that's black was white. I believe the strap was made of resin, the same as this strap is. You can see this is kind of odd here. You've got these openings in the strap. But yeah, the initial release was in November of 2008, but they only released the white version, and then they released 4 additional versions in January of 2009 in Japan. And then they also released this version. I'm not sure when exactly this version came out. I think I purchased it in 2010 or so. But yeah, this version was not sold in Japan. This is a black resin bezel, along with the bright kind of chrome aluminum bezel, and a positive display. Yeah, it was kind of odd because usually Casio releases, when they come out with a new model, they release them all at the same time. You know, there tends to be 4, 5, 6, maybe more color variations that all get released at the same time. But with this, it was staggered a little bit. So you can no longer purchase this. It's no longer in production. And I think that's because it didn't sell very well. And I think that's really only because of the way that it looks. Because it has an incredible module. The functionality of this G-Shock is really superb. It has a lot of things that a lot of people wish for. And I wish that Casio would basically take this computer, this functionality, and put it in some of their newer G-Shocks, and maybe, I think this look grows on you after a while. It's a little dressier than, you know, like a DW5600 square. And it actually looks good in real life. But I think one thing that's a little off-putting is the way that the characters are like straight up and down instead of having that usual, you know, bit of a slant to the right. So, and it's got these little labels in the corners that kind of look like afterthoughts. But like I said, the functionality is awesome. It is a 5-button. So you've got common resin strap. Some of the other color variations had cloth straps, and there was one that even had a kind of a fake snakeskin strap. I actually owned that for a while. I sold it last year. There's a little bit of pivot in the straps. I think you can actually put your own like aftermarket strap on this G-Shock, which is something that you can't do with a lot of other G-Shocks. It has a 4-screw case back. These screws here just hold the bezel onto the case, I believe, and you have spring bars that hold the strap to the lugs. The buttons are larger than like a DW6900, so they're a little easier to push. You get more screws, Phillips head screws here that hold the bezel on. It's got a nice, feels kind of a thick brushed aluminum bezel. Although some of the other bezels on some of the other color variations were IP plated and stuff, black ion plated. It has a electroluminescent backlight, which you can't see. It has auto EL. So if you go through the modes, this is world time. This is a countdown timer, stopwatch, alarm mode, and then we're back to timekeeping. There's a lot of additional features with this that I'll have to go into in the the detailed breakdown. For one thing, there's custom screens. You can see I have my name up there. And there's another custom screen that hasn't been programmed. Yeah, it's just a very unique watch with unique functionality. It's a smaller size G-Shock. I mean, prior to 2010, Casio was kind of for many years in the first decade of the 2000s, the first decade of the new millennium, I guess you'd say, Casio was mainly on a make it smaller philosophy. So if you look at the Mudman and the Rise Man, they were getting kind of smaller. The Frogman continued to be a large G-Shock, but most of their other stuff was smaller. Then in 2010, they started coming out with big case designs. So this sort of just preceded the move towards the bigger case G-Shocks. So back at that time, Casio was doing a lot of experimentation with odd designs, but the oddness of the computer and the module and the way that it functions, all of the unique functionality is actually a good thing. Let's take a look at the illumination. The button is kind of weird. It's a little difficult to press, but yeah, so my camera is making it look greenish. I mean, it's greenish, but my camera is making it look more bluish white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press and hold the light button for a few seconds. And there it goes. You see this auto EEL indicator lights up here. So when this is showing, and it'll stay activated for about 6 hours, when you tilt the watch towards your face, and you're holding it roughly parallel to the ground, it will automatically light up without you having to push a button, or it's supposed to. There we go. So let's get into all of the coolness that this G-7800 has to offer. It is a 5-button G-Shock, 2 buttons on each side, plus the little light button here. One of the things that's nice about this G-Shock is that it's kind of self-explanatory. It gives you kind of the digital watch equivalent of tooltips. It tells you, rather explicitly what's going on instead of using abbreviations. So this is the normal home screen here. If you press the top right button, you can get, day of the week plus the year. You can get the year followed by the day of the week if you prefer that format. You can get just the day of the week. You can get just the year. So you have a lot of options. Down here, you can switch to a couple of other custom home screens. And it allows you to customize the text that appears on this top line. That's pretty much all that you get. You can't customize the bottom, just this top line, but you can have special characters, you know, fairly wide range of characters up there. So now we're back on sort of the default factory home screen. Over here on the mode button, if you press and hold it until you hear a beep, there's a little indicator down here for mute. That mutes the buttons so that the buttons no longer make a beeping sound when you push them. As I so you'll notice up at the top here, it gives whole words telling you, okay, so this is stopwatch, alarm. Now we're back to timekeeping. There's also an auto display mode, which is not new in G-Shocks. It's kind of new in the way that you activate it. You actually push and hold both the right side buttons together until you hear a beep. And now what it'll do is every several, I don't know if it's 10 seconds, it'll automatically switch from one mode to another. This is basically useful if you're having the watch in a store display, so you can sort of demonstrate to shoppers the different modes that the watch has. So when you press the top left button here, the adjust button, it tells you hold the set. So you see the seconds are flashing. Whatever's flashing you can adjust. So if you press this bottom button, it sets it to 0. Now I'm going to press the mode button. This is daylight savings time. You need to set that properly. If you have daylight savings time where you live. You know, you can just have it on or off. If it's on, it advances 1 hour. And you have a little indicator up there that shows on your screen all the time. And now pressing the mode button, this is your city code and offset from UTC. Your world time won't be correct if you don't have this set correctly. So I'm in the mountain time zone, so I need to have it set for Denver, Colorado, -7. Press the mode button again. And here's where you can adjust your hours up or down using the 2 right side buttons. Press the mode button again. You can adjust the minutes up or down using the 2 right side buttons. And you can have 12-hour display. As you can see, there's a little PM indicator here. If I switch it to 24-hour, that's the 24-hour time format. And press the mode button again. You can change the year. It has a full auto calendar that's good until the year 2099. So it knows what years are leap years, and it automatically adds the 29th day of February. So you never have to, you know, once you get it set correctly, you don't have to fiddle around with changing your or adjusting your month and day and so on, unless the battery goes dead. Press the mode button again. Month, you can adjust that up or down. And the day of the month, go up or down with the right side buttons. And here's something that most G-Shocks have, but a lot of people wish for, and that is the format in which your day and date is displayed down here on the bottom. In the US, and CASIO has basically always made their G-Shocks to show the date in this format, we use month followed by day, which is it's kind of like the half significant followed by the least significant, and then if we have the year, we have the most significant. In Europe, they go from least significant to most significant, so they have day of month, month, and then year, which makes more logical sense. It's just, you know, hard to get used to. I don't know if that's part of the metric system, but anyway, that's how they do it in Europe. And a lot of people wish that they could, you know, have that on their G-Shock. Well, with this G-Shock, you can. So here's day followed by month. So here's the day of the month followed by the month. That's just what people in many other parts of the world would like. You can have the day of the week followed by the day of the month. You can have the day of the month followed by the weekday. You can have the month spelled out, followed by the day of the month, or the other way around. So gives you a lot of options there to have on your bottom line of the display. So now I'm going to press the mode button again. This is flash alert. You basically can have it on or off. Flash alert means that when you have it turned on, it says synchro. It flashes along with the alarm sound. So you sort of have a visual alarm to go along with the audible alarm. Press the mode button again. And here's something that's, very exceptional for G-Shocks. You have a choice of bold font or narrow font. Bold font is really useful when you have a negative display. It's not so important with a positive display like this. So those are your two choices, bold, narrow, type A, type B. Press the mode button again. Here's another thing that's exceptional. You have a adjustable contrast, which just makes the characters light, goes from light to darker. 4 seems to be good middle of the road. There's not a lot of change between. You notice it when you go to the number 1, but it's not so noticeable from 4 to 7. So press the mode button again, and we're back to the beginning. So those are all the adjustments in the on the home screen. And when you're on the home screen, you still have different things you can do on the top line. So this is very informative. You've got the year, the day of the week, the month, the day of the month, everything. So if you've hit your head, you've got complete amnesia, this is the ideal kind of display for you, I guess. So in addition to the factory default home screen, you have 2 additional custom home screens, which are accessed using the bottom right button. And this just allows you to, if you press and hold the adjust button, you can have up to 14 characters in here, and use the 2 right side buttons to scroll through. You've got numbers, symbols, so you've got the whole alphabet, the numbers, and a bunch of symbols. You can have quite a bit of stuff up here, and you use the mode button to advance to the next character until you get through all 14. So it automatically scrolls right to left when you have more than, I think it's 7 characters. If you have more than 7 characters, it'll scroll like that. And then there's also another custom screen, custom 2. So let's take a look at the first mode. Press the mode button here on the bottom left. It's the world time mode. And it shows you the offset from UTC. It shows the date and but it shows you the entire name of the city down here at first when you first get to that. So that's Adelaide. So that's one of the great things, as I mentioned before about this G-Shock. It gives you a lot of information and uses whole words. So it even scrolls to accommodate a lot more characters. There's UTC. So let's say Paris. I don't know if Paris uses daylight savings times, but if they do, or summertime, if you press and hold the adjust button, it'll turn daylight savings time on for this city code and this city code only. It doesn't affect the other ones. So as you can see, when I switch to Cairo, the DST indicator goes out. And it even tells you what it's going to do there when you hold the button. So that's it for world time. Now let's take a look at the countdown timer. It's the second mode that you come to. And this has a lot of it's an exceptional countdown timer. There are 8 preset times, which are fixed. You can't adjust them. So if I press the top right button here, you can see we've got a 3-minute countdown, 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, 45-minute, and 1 hour. And this is custom. And this custom one, you can adjust anything. You can have whatever hours, whatever minutes, and whatever seconds you like. It's currently set for 15 seconds. So the 1 minute is a fixed preset, and then there's 7 more fixed presets, and then you have the custom timer. Another thing is it not only has auto repeat, it also has a countdown to count up option. So here's where you set it's a 24-hour countdown timer, so you can have, if it's set to all zeros, that's equal to 24. So using the 2 right side buttons, you can go up and down with the hours, minutes. It even tells you up here minutes, seconds. And like I said, it's set to, change it to 10 seconds. Or how about 5? 5 seconds. Press the mode button over here again. And this is where you select your type. Countdown stop just means that it will count down, it'll get to 0, it'll make the beeps and flashes for the alarm, and then that's it. It'll just reset to 5 seconds and stop. It won't do any more. It won't repeat or anything. So pressing the bottom right button here forward, this is the countdown count up option. So it'll go from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Press the mode button again. No, that's not what I wanted to do. There's one more option, and that's the countdown and repeat. So this will go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and it'll just keep repeating the cycle indefinitely, I believe. I don't think there's any limit to how long it'll do that. So let's just take a look at, this will give you a chance to see what the flash alert looks like, something that's very different for this G-Shock. It's got twin LEDs down here, amber and red, and that's the flash alert. It doesn't flash the entire electroluminescent backlight. It just flashes these little LEDs down here, which probably is more energy efficient. Reset up top. So let's go with countdown count up. And I guess it just keeps counting up indefinitely. The alarm lasts for 10 seconds. So the thing that's useful about this is if you don't hear the alarm and you go past the countdown and you say, oh no, what happened? How far behind am I? This will basically show you how long it's been since you reached the end of the countdown. So, kind of like how much you need to panic over missing the countdown alarm. And all of these preset, you can't change the time, but you can change the type. So you can have a count up, or a normal countdown stop, a countdown and then count up, countdown and then repeat. But you the time is fixed for all of these presets. And these, they're pretty useful because it's basically a quick way to select the most often kinds of times that you will find yourself needing. If you need a countdown of some sort, you can probably find something, a 10-minute, 15-minute, 1 hour, whatever. So you just select it. It's very quick, and then start it. You don't have to press and hold to adjust and then go through the digits individually and so on and so forth. So it's pretty useful in that regard. Timer 45-minute. Like I said, with all of these preset fixed times, you can change what type of countdown you want to have. And I think that that transfers from one. So all of these presets become countdown, count up. It applies it to all of them, and I think it applies it to the custom time as well. So yeah, I think that's everything you need to know about the countdown timer, the Super Deluxe countdown timer. Now let's take a look at the Super Deluxe stopwatch, the mode number 3. Actually, the stopwatch isn't that much deluxer. It's pretty basic and standard, except it's a 100-day stopwatch. So you have the hundredths of a second down here, seconds, minutes, hours, and days up here. So this is the start-stop button down at the bottom right. You see the hundredths of a second here. So it'll count up to 99 days, 23 hours, 59 minutes, 59.99 seconds. And then it goes to 0 and keeps on going. So if you press the stop button, that actually stops the stopwatch. And then you can restart it by pressing the start-stop button. You can also use the reverse button up here for split times. That just freezes the display and the stopwatch keeps running in the background. So you'll have to either make a mental note or write these numbers down. You can also do first and second place finishes if you hit split for the first place and then stop for second place. So here's your first place finish, 53.12 seconds. Then you press the reverse reset button. It shows the second place finish, 54.86 seconds. And then pressing the reset again sets it to 0. It doesn't have auto start. It's just a extra long 100-day stopwatch instead of the usual 24-hour. And that's it for the stopwatch. Now let's take a look at the fourth and final mode, the alarm mode. And of course, it's a super deluxe alarm mode. Have you ever had the thought that, with your Casio G-Shocks in the past, where you set your alarm and you want it to wake you up each morning to go to work, and then the darn thing goes off on a Saturday morning, and it's like, oh, no, bueno. Well, Super Deluxe Casio G-Shock alarm eliminates that problem. So you have 5 alarms. This is alarm number 1, as it very clearly indicates. It's currently set to daily. Alarm 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th one is a snooze alarm. And normally the alarm goes off, it sounds for 10 seconds and stops. Snooze alarm, it'll do that. Yes, it'll sound 7 times every 5 minutes. And in order to stop it from going off or sounding again 5 minutes later, you have to activate the settings or adjustments on the home screen or in the alarm mode. And you can get it to quit beeping for good. or until the next day. So in order to set these alarms, you press and hold the adjust button, as you might expect, and you can adjust the hours up or down using the right side buttons. So 7 a.m. You can do the same thing with the minutes. And here's where the good stuff happens. You can have it be a daily alarm, or you can have it be a one-time alarm. So if you set it, it'll sound tomorrow morning, and then it's permanently off after that unless you turn it back on. You can have it only sound on Saturday and Sunday morning. Or you can have it sound only on the weekdays, so it'll leave you alone on Saturday and Sunday. And then we're back to daily. Press the mode down here at the bottom again. And that's those are all the settings. So this little check mark up here indicates that the alarm is turned on. Using the top right button, that's how you turn them on or off. And so each of these alarms is the same and independent. They work independently of one another. And the fifth one is, it's all the same in terms of setting it and adjusting it and so on. It just means that when the alarm sounds, it's going to sound again every 5 minutes. But you can do all the same stuff. You can have it daily, one time, weekend, or weekday. Yeah. And as soon as if you press and hold the adjust button, that automatically turns the alarm on. And you can turn it off using this top right button. Now, the hourly chime. I remember when digital watches first came out back in the 70s. Everybody was kind of, wanted to have their chime turned on because it was cool and it get people's attention, alert them to the fact that you have a cool new high-tech digital watch. But it wasn't so cool when the thing was beeping in the middle of the night. But that's where the G-7800 Super Deluxe, it's actually part of the alarm mode. I hit the wrong button. The Super Deluxe hourly chime or hourly signal. So you can actually choose the hours of the day that you want to have the chime sounding. So you turn it on or off using the top right button. It's got the little check mark here. There's little indicators up here. So now press and hold the adjust. And this is where you select your from time. So 7 a.m. And let's press the mode button down here at the bottom to 9 p.m. Or you can have 7 a.m. until 6 p.m. or, whatever. So those are your from and to times. This means that the chime will only sound during those hours from 7 a.m. until 9 p.m. So now press the mode button again. Now you can also choose to have it function every day from 7 until 9, or only on the weekends, or only on weekdays. So I guess those are the three choices. Yeah. So I don't know of any other G-Shock that has this, programmable, custom programmable hourly chime. And that's, I'll turn it off. So that's the alarm mode, which includes the customizable programmable hourly chime. And you can also test the alarm by pressing and holding the bottom right button. And it's kind of a different sound. I mean, usually with G-Shocks you have a beep, 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 beep. But this is kind of a fading tone that goes from loud to quiet. Just another one of those, you know, odd things that makes the G7800 cooler than your average G-Shock. How cool is that? That's the flash alert in the dark. Or sort of dark. It gets cooler the darker it is, I think. Well, so there you have it. That's the G7800 odd but also very cool G-Shock from late 2008 and early 2009. Unfortunately, well, my impression is that Casio tends to abandon things that don't sell well. Unfortunately, they abandoned this wholesale because people didn't really like the way this G-Shock looked in the photos, and didn't really like it when they saw it on the store shelf or whatever. They sort of missed out. Everybody missed out on discovering a really cool module that has all sorts of neat functionality. I mean, just the countdown timer, with the flashing LEDs and the customizable chime and customizable alarms and so many customizable things, and self-explanatory labels on stuff. It's really got a high degree of functionality built into the module. It's not solar atomic, but still very cool. And I guess that's all there is to say about it.